John, first of all, we've had 10 days to reflect on Ireland's performance. Now, at the end of Owen Hand's regime, Denmark, ironically, hammered us in Lansdowne Road, as it then was, 4-1. At the end of Jack Charlton's regime, we went to Liverpool in a playoff game, and really Holland did a job on us and humiliated us. There was a feeling in my mind that night, watching what was a debacle tactically and in every way, that this was a hiding we were due, and it should be maybe the end of something. Although I think there's a case to be made for keeping Martin O'Neill, but I also think there's a case to be made for not keeping him. How did you see it?
Well, pretty similar to yourself, Eamon. It was a very, very bad night, but you'd have to say it was the first bad night he had as bad as that in a very, very important match. And I think there is a case for him to stay. I think there's a case for him to go. I think it's a difficult situation. I didn't, and I think most lads didn't agree with everything Martin did. But if you look back at the record of what he did, not how he did it, it's quite good.
Yeah.
We got to one major tournament and a playoff in the other. I think we could have done better, but that's by the way. So to make a change, and I've often said, I mean, in my time talking about football, the last thing I would want for my life to depend on was to pick a successful manager.
Yeah.
I would dread it. And I still feel...
Is that in international football terms?
Any football terms.
Right.
Any football terms. And I'll give you an example of it. When I was younger playing for Leeds, I got to know Ian St John reasonably well, who was a terrific Liverpool player. And I thought, this guy is the makings of a really top-class manager. And I played with Jack Charlton for 10 years. And I thought, Jack Charlton has no chance whatsoever of doing anything in management.
Yeah.
Ian St John went to Portsmouth. He lasted this season at most, and Jack went on to do what he did. So after that, I thought I would hate to be in a position to pick a manager. So I'd be in the same situation now. I think Martin is in the driving seat in that he was offered a contract.
Yes.
That's in his pocket. So he's been offered a contract. I mean, he's the one that's going to make the decision.
Yeah.
And we'll have to wait and see what decision he makes. If he thinks it's best for his future, then I think you'd have to go along with it. I would have to go along with that.
Yeah.
And say, okay, he had a really bad day, the worst day he ever had, and one of the biggest matches he ever had. But overall, you'd have to look at his record. So I think I'd be inclined to keep him.